Canada loses the USMNT World Cup qualifier. Another trip north of the border, another result to lament for the US men's national team. Cyle Larin scored in the 7th minute, and Canada made it stand up until Adekugbe scored an insurance goal at the death, reinforcing its place atop Concacaf's World Cup qualifying standings, with a 2-0 win over the US that puts the nation one step closer to its first World Cup since 1986. The US's last defeat to Canada came a little over 2 years ago in the Concacaf Nations League, a 2-0 loss in Toronto that served as a low point for this US group and a launchpad for Canada. While Sunday's defeat at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton, Ontario, isn't completely detrimental to the US in its attempt to reach Qatar, it does shrink the margin for error going forward. Entering the day, Canada topped the table, a point ahead of the US and 2 points clear of Mexico. The top 3 teams at the end of the Concacaf Octagonal automatically qualify for the World Cup, while 4th place goes into an intercontinental playoff for one final berth. Canada remains unbeaten, while the US will do some scoreboard watching later Sunday to see what needs to be done in the 4 matches that remain. Both sides were missing key players. Canada's superstar Alphonso Davies was out as he recovers from myocarditis following a case of COVID-19, while US winger Tim Weah was not permitted to enter Canada due to his vaccination status. US goalkeeper Zack Steffen was also out, having not yet joined the team as he battles back tightness suffered at Man City. Aaronson assumed Weah's place on the wing in the US lineup, which featured 2 other changes. Cyle in for Jesus Ferreira at striker, and Miles Robinson replacing Walker Zimmerman at center back. For a second straight qualifier, Ricardo Pepi, the breakout star at forward in the fall, remained on the bench. Teams traded fruitless possession through the opening minutes until the US won a free kick in the 4th minute, some 30 yards out from the Canadian goal. Christian Pulisic's take didn't clear Canada's first line of defense in the box, though, and Canada cleared off a subsequent long throw-in to break on the counter. It was off another counter a minute later that Canada looked to have a threat building. Yunus Musah's crossfield pass for Sergiño Dest was intercepted by Adekugbe, who played the dangerous Tajan Buchanan up the left-hand side, only to have Miles Robinson defend him well and salvage a goal kick. But off that goal kick, disaster struck for the US. Matt Turner's long ball was intercepted in the center circle, and the Canadians turned that into an opportunity straight down the center, with Larin scoring the opener in the 7th minute. In doing so, Larin became Canada's all-time men's leading scorer, with his 23 career goals, passing Dwayne De Rosario. The US had a chance to equalize a couple of minutes later, when Pulisic's corner kick picked out Chris Richards in the box, but the center-back couldn't flick his chance on target. Aaronson looked to be given a bit of a gift in the 28th minute, when Zardes' cross was headed right into the winger's path inside the box, but his follow-up shot was blocked, and Tyler Adams' speculative blast from long distance went well over to end the mini-threat. Canada turned on the physicality, with the whistles going the US's way after the half-hour mark. First, Steven Vittoria was given a yellow card for fouling Pulisic. Then, the Chelsea star drew another foul on Marc-Anthony Kaye, which gave the US a great chance to pull even off a free kick from about 22 yards out. Pulisic took it, but overhit it badly and never troubled Canadian goalkeeper Milan Borjan. Borjan came to the rescue in the 43rd minute though. Pulisic's corner kick picked out Weston McKennie at point-blank range, but the Juventus midfielder had his header turned away by an incredible save, keeping Canada in the lead. SI recommends in Canada, USMNT sees reference point. Opportunity on World Cup path by Brian Strauss. Why Tim Weah can't play for USMNT in Canada by Wilton Jackson. How the US can qualify for the World Cup sooner than later by Avi Creditor despite the score at the half. The US enjoyed the better of the run of play, outpossessing Canada 63% to 37%, with the hosts seeming to be more than content to absorb and look to hit on the counter. Save for the McKennie chance, though, the US wasn't able to direct any dangerous chances on goal. The US's best chance in the opening stage of the second half came just before the hour mark. McKennie hit a line-splitting pass to find Aaronson at the top of the Canada box, but Borjan was equal to the task, making a clean save on the shot and not yielding a rebound to keep it at 1-0. The US went to its bench in the 68th minute for the first time, but not entirely by choice. Adams was forced out with a hamstring injury, with Kellen Acosta coming on in his place. Separately, Jordan Morris and Pepi came on, with Zardes and Aaronson making way. Moments later, Turner made a sensational double save to keep the deficit at 1. The US got caught trying to play out of the back and turned it over, allowing David to have a clear look at goal. Turner made the stop, then denied Larin from point-blank range, keeping it at 1-0 in the 70th minute. The US made its final 2 substitutes with 15 minutes to go, as Reggie Cannon and Paul Arriola came on for Musah and Dest. The move shifted Pulisic into more of a central role, with Cannon a straight swap for Dest at right back. Being out of subs came back to bite the US in the 85th minute, When Richards fell to the ground in pain after a challenge while in possession, he limped off the field, forcing the US to play with 10 men. That didn't keep the US from throwing everything forward. And Areola had a great chance to fire at goal in the 87th minute after a McKennie cross, only for it to be blocked. Areola nearly scored in spectacular fashion a minute later, with Miles Robinson heading a McKennie cross into his path. With Areola chesting it to himself and attempting a bicycle kick that went wide. The US was able to put a chance on target in stoppage time, with Pulisic firing a free kick on goal, only for Borgen to make the clean stop. It was Canada that scored late, though. Adekugbe scored off a sensational individual effort to cap a counterattack at the death, giving Canada the 2-0 result and another famous 3 points at the US's expense. The US closes the winter qualifying window in St. Paul, Minnesota, against Honduras on Wednesday, while Canada heads to Central America to face El Salvador. More soccer coverage. How USMNT can actually qualify for the World Cup next week. Canada's Davies gives hilarious Twitch commentary of World Cup qualifier. Date of World Cup qualifying around the globe. Who's in current table? Strauss. Beyond the pedigree, Tim Weah's rise.